Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name's Jeffrey George, and I have a little diving club called Just Diving World. The purpose of my post is really just to address the litter plight that we have on our planet. And yeah, I've done many posts before. I don't know if anyone knows me, although do I put many on there. And some may think, well, it's the same sort of address. Is it as important as it is? I just want to hit home to some of my recent litter picks and the sort of products that I'm seeing, which are coming in ever increasing amounts, which is obviously concerning me to some degree. So that's why I'm posting this. I'm using YouTube just as a different medium, really. A lot of it I do on Facebook, but I just thought for a change I'll use the YouTube function. This is quite a lovely picture here. You can see where the location is there. I'm not sure how clear it is from the viewer's perspective, but it's Abbott's Cliff Beach at Folkestone, down in Kent near Dover. Anything to do with the planet, I think, is all inspiring from my standpoint, anyway. Of those loves nature, but just shows a lot of people really, which are going up and down the beach in the litter. So I just thought it's quite poignant with the subject matter that I'm trying to talk about. So yeah, that's from a lovely magazine, which is from Sewers Against Sewage, called Pipeline. So I'm sure if you were to Google that, you could probably find some mediums to get these sort of books. But it's got some very useful information inside, and very good stories of like-minded people that want to try and protect our planet. Before I just mention the actual products that I've been having a concern with, this little booklet, which is from Marine Conservation Society, who work along the same sort of ethos as Surface Against Sewage. They've got some useful tips in here on how you can help protect the planet with your plastic footprint. Some of the ones they're saying here is at the shops. So use a reusable bag to make your own. I always take my own. I've got my own sort of fabric style one. Use your own containers for meat, cheese and fish counters. So I take my Tupperware in and have it put straight in there. That way I can avoid having to go to the pre-packed sections for those products. Just on that note, I don't actually eat red meat now. That's just a personal choice, and sort of reducing my cheese intake as well, but still taking stock of fish and chicken products. Take small reusable bags for fruit and veg. Well, I will only go to a local one now. There's twofold with that. One, it's supporting local businesses. They were around before the big supermarkets came around, and most of the vast majority of their range is unpackaged. There is a few. I have a few more issues that I will address with the owner of that in a nice civil way. But yeah, in the main, I just go there. So I just don't avoid the supermarket, because it's supporting the locals, and in the main, they've got a far bigger range of unpackaged fruit and veg as opposed to the supermarket. So I go there. So there's an option for you. Get your bread from the bakery section. Yeah, the same. As a good choice as far as supermarkets go, I recommend Lidl's. I think Aldi will probably be on the same format, as they're sort of the same operational style. But all there, they've got a lot there, and they've just got the paper bags, so you can just get your bread from there as well. So that's a very good idea. On the go, refuse straws. Highly recommend that. I always never take a straw if I go to McDonald's. Infrequently go there. Usually go there because of my work when I'm driving the truck. It's just more convenient. But yeah, I have my own metal straw anyway. Use a reusable coffee cup. I won't have it. I won't go to Costa or anything. It's just principle. It won't happen. Get a reusable water bottle. I have one of those. I'm sure most people can get them. And a packed lunch. Yeah, just take some stuff and take it out with you. I mean, it's okay for the odd treat now and again, but if it's Greg's, then it's going to be in a paper bag anyway. So yeah, very good. It's quite useful information throughout this booklet. As I said, you've got the one there, which I put up on my story option on Facebook. Yeah, it's quite alarming, guys, actually. Estimated 300 billion pieces of plastic are floating in the Arctic Ocean. Plastics are some of the most long-lasting material. They usually never break down. They keep breaking down into smaller bits, but they don't actually eradicate. That's the problem with them. They can almost go on indefinite. Here you go. Plastic bags recorded on UK beaches have reduced by 47% since the charge was introduced in 2011. So that's a good thing. We're starting to realise now. So there's a positive there, and there are many of those. More than one. As you can see in the picture, probably those that do will do it. It's a sperm whale and its calf. Some areas of our ocean contain 6 times more microplastics than plankton. But UK government is listing microbeads are now being banned in wash-off cosmetics, so it could change. And it just mixes with the plankton, and you just can't distinguish between the two, and unfortunately, it just ingest and causes imaginable distress and obviously, sadly, in many cases, death for the animals. So, that's that. More plastic than fish in our seas, a possibility by 2050. So that is a serious forecast. So those changes I did say, lifestyle changes need to be implemented. All of us, I mean, it's a part we can make. To continue with that, there you go, in the bathroom. Use soap bars instead of hand wash. I only buy soap now from a place called Replenish Weston. Or those that live in Weston or the surrounding areas, very useful shop, and they supply all that. Mouthwash, I just don't conform to it. I don't bother with couch wash, but I'm not making anyone's judgment on that. Shampoo, conditioner, and so forth, they do refill all that. They're not refilling at the moment with this pandemic, obviously, but when it gets back to normality, shampoo and so forth, they'll just fill up. You just take your container back and they'll refill it for you. In the kitchen, it says green honey, salad and herbs. I wouldn't be far from me for that. I'm not really the best with green fingers, but a good idea. By squashing glass bottles, I just drink tap water, and I have a few vitamin capsules just to give it some added taste. And get milk deliveries, that's a good one. Or you can go again to Gardeners Fruit and Veg in Weston, and they will refill it for you. They've got full fat milk and I believe semi-skilled. You can take your container and they'll refill it for you, obviously with a charge. Cleaning, they've got these various things here, baking sodas and so forth, but the same shop in the Replenish Weston, they will refill that for you. I get my wash-out liquid refilled there, my cleaning fluids refilled there and so forth. So yeah, they can do all that for you as well. And I think that's the end of the that's the end of the list of things you can do to make a better impact on our environment. So with the litter picks I've done recently at Hartfield Beach, Weston-super-Mare, and at Breen Down, a colossal amount of microplastics accumulating down there, sadly, but a high increase in cotton bud sticks and dog feces, obviously within their bags. To touch on both of those, on one of them I actually counted in the collection that I did within a half an hour to 1 hour time frame, and a very small section of the beach. I'm talking literally minuscule, probably 1/10, 100, even less than that, probably 100 of the beach in area covered. I picked up 46 cotton bud sticks. Now, people are putting these obviously down, so they're doing their cosmetic activities and so forth in the bathroom, and then they just put them down the toilet, because that's the only way they're going to get there. It's through the sewage system. I have put a post up on Facebook about this, and a bit of a medical script in there as well, that these are just massively bad for your health anyway. If you use these to try and clean your ears, you can cause retrospinal damage to the ear canal by scraping the sides of the tissues there. You could cause possible ear rupture damage, and these can further transpire to facial paralysis. These are extremes, by the way, but they can be a possibility. Vertigo, nausea, and so yeah, just no, they're not for your own personal use. They're just not a good idea to use them at all. But if you are, just don't put them down the toilet, because obviously that's where they're ending up. And also ingest them, and again causes, you can imagine ingesting something like that. It's a very hard plastic and causes massive damage. But I'm just seeing an increase. They did drop for a while, but now they seem to be going up again. So that's partially why I'm putting this post on. Dog feces. The actual feces in itself, I'm not really concerned about. It's like manure. It will break down, and as grotesque it may sound, animals will eat on that. Every food source is valuable in the natural world. It's the plastic bag that it's containing is my issue, because it's plastic again. I'm seeing a few where they've deposited on top of a bin, but the bin's already full and overflowing. Guys, we're being we're being massively irresponsible and being like lemons here. The bin's full. Just because other people have put it on there doesn't mean you have to put it back on, put there as well. Rise above that, take it home and dispose of it, and in your own bin and so forth. You just can't leave. People just can't leave it on the beach. There, I find it where they've flinged it into the vegetation surrounding the beach line and just dumped on the floor. No, there's no excuse. It's totally irresponsible, no. I just feel that people are that irresponsible doing that, then they just shouldn't have the dog in the first place. You have to take it home. It may be, I know it may be a hindrance. You may be, I've got to carry this all the way. Well, sadly, that's the reality of it. You have to take it home. I have made some inroads into the councils about having more bins. It's an ongoing problem. Giving excuses about funds and so forth. Don't really agree with that. Don't really want to go into that on here and now even about that situation. But yeah, I'm trying to push inroads in that area and still trying to push that and get that more facilitised in the sense of having more bins around so people can actually put them in there. But yes, there should be more, but that's not an excuse to drop it. So we can't really use that option. So yeah, please, if there's no bin available, take it home, and if you just have to walk a little bit further, then unfortunately that's the case. And then deposit it in a responsible and appropriate manner, please, everyone. And yeah, the common things is alarmingly starting to increase. So please, as a lovely lady called Debbie Apted said, I hope she doesn't mind me mention her name. I'm sure she won't. But she's massively passionate about the environment as I am. I'm trying to keep it free from plastic and other such harmful products going into the oceans. Said there are 4 P's that go down the toilet, and that is the paper, the poo, the pee, and the puke. Natural things, all right. The paper isn't as such, but obviously it will gradually break down. But nothing else goes down there. No sanitary things, no wet wipes or anything. And those on the note by wet wipes are massively damaged. I've seen quite a few of those as well, by the way. Again, they're terrible. They've got plastic subsidiaries built into the compound of that product. It's anything unnatural going out into the oceans, as you can probably appreciate, it's going to cause detrimental damage. You saw that figure there, that amount of tonnage up in the Arctic. It's consequently been around about 800,000 tonnes. Up to 1 million tonnes probably reached, I suspect, being pumped every year into the oceans. We've got some parts of the oceans with far more plastic, sometimes 6 times the amount, as a ratio of plankton. And just to very simply touch on that, you've got 2 topics. You've got plankton and you've got zooplankton. And the plankton is basically like an animal, like an algae, and it photosynthesis, and also helps to produce most of the oxygen that we inhale on this planet, over half. And the zooplankton is basically very small organisms, crustaceans and so forth, mollusks. It's the larvae state that's so minuscule, and they freely spend in the water column, and they're ingested by many animals, namely those of whales as well. And just another whale's dietary, just to add on to that, something off topic, would be the krill, which is obviously an animal organism in its own right, but it's potentially largely small, but very nutritious for such large cetacean animals such as whales. So yeah, I hope that's been some help. I'm just trying to address this for me, because again, I'm picking this up and seeing a increase in the amount. But to be fair, as far as new litter is concerned, there's not a too great a deal on the beaches, but much of that to do with the impact of the pandemic that we're in, and the minimisation of people being allowed to go to such spaces. But there is still some fresh amounts being deposited in various locations that I'm picking up from Sandpoint and whatever. When I mean fresh, I mean like energy drinks, crisp packets, cigarette packets. These have been recently dropped. You can tell by the state that they're in good condition, so they've been dropped recently. So people are still being very irresponsible and careless and unrespectful to the planet, and just dropping them. Please, just take it home. I'm picking up loads here. Yeah, I can't see any foreseeable excuse as to why litter can be dropped. People obviously have also been throwing it from vehicles. Leave it in the car, and then take it home and put it in the appropriate, either in the recycling bin or into your own bin. I don't fathom why you would have to throw it out. Someone did make a good comment. Those that basically float. Well, I was actually, when I was doing the beach clean at Sabrine, they were saying they're very passionate as well and doing it, and they said basically, those sort of people that don't really care and do throw litter around everywhere, those that will disobey parking CLW lines, parking, say, in a disabled bay, outside school, in his respective systems in place, they just flout them. They don't really care. So I think they're the sort of generic type of group of people that do this, and I think there's probably some truth in that. So yeah. So I hope everyone's staying well, and healthy and safe, and not going too insane with this situation. But I saw a post from a friend of mine. I'm not going to mention his names for privacy reasons, but he's sadly lost a loved one, and he has to have limited people can go to the funeral. So that's distressing in itself. And he's just noticing that all these people moaning about it, and they're getting bored and this, that, and the other. But you know, there's worse things going on around. You know, if you're financially okay, you've been furloughed okay, and you're healthy in that, then you're in a far better. You know, you're a lot more fortunate than most people are. So yeah, just bear that in mind, and just try to reframe and put in something. You know, try to have a bit of comedy on and comical things posts being popped on Facebook, and some of them have been quite humorous and made me chuckle, but some of them are going a little bit insensitive and not really needed, really, in this time that we're in. So everyone keep well and safe and happy, and we will come out of this the other end. Hopefully a lot more compassionate and better people. So that's for now, and thanks for watching. Thank you guys. Bye for now. Bye bye.